Zeno, let me ask you, have you ever encountered a challenge so profound it tested the very core of your beliefs?
Oh, absolutely. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when we least expect it. But it's those moments that define us, don't you think?
I do. And that's why today we're stepping into the mind of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who didn't just rule with power, but with profound wisdom. His teachings on resilience, virtue, and control are as relevant today as they were nearly 2,000 years ago. What do you say we dive in?
Let's do it. We'll explore not only his philosophy, but how we can use it to handle modern challenges. Whether it's the stress of work, the chaos of relationships, or even the constant pull of social media. So, grab your metaphorical toga and join us on this journey into Stoicism.
Zeno, Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." How does that sit with you?
It's a cornerstone of Stoicism, isn't it? Our perception shapes our reality. Think about it. Marcus was an emperor. He dealt with wars, plagues, and political intrigue daily. Yet, instead of spiraling into despair, he shifted his focus inward.
Exactly. His challenges weren't so different from ours in essence. Though, thankfully, most of us aren't managing empires. When you're overwhelmed by a tough project at work or a personal setback, it's not the situation itself, but how you interpret it that determines your experience.
True. Neuroscience backs this up too. Cognitive reappraisal, changing the way we think about a situation, can reduce stress and improve emotional resilience. It's like reframing a tough boss as an opportunity to develop patience rather than a source of misery.
A modern example might be failing at something, let's say a business venture. Instead of viewing it as a catastrophe, you can see it as a lesson, a step toward growth. Marcus reminds us, the obstacle isn't in the way, it is the way.
Musonius, how often do you find your mind caught up in regrets or future anxieties?
All the time. But Marcus Aurelius nailed it when he said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present."
Such wisdom. Living in the present isn't just about mindfulness. It's about freeing ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Imagine savoring a meal without distractions. No phones, no TV, just the taste, smell, and texture. That's a metaphor for life.
Yes, and it's so relevant now in our fast-paced world. A practical takeaway here: when anxiety strikes, ground yourself. Focus on what you can do today, right now, because the future isn't here yet, and the past is already gone.
Let's talk about change. Marcus wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." What's your take on that?
Change is inevitable. Marcus saw it not as a disruption, but as part of the universe's flow. He embraced it, knowing resistance was futile.
Exactly. This reminds me of nature, like rivers reshaping valleys over time. Resisting change is like trying to stop the current. Instead, we can adapt. Think of how businesses had to pivot during the pandemic. Those that embraced change thrived.
And in our personal lives, change can be a teacher. A breakup, for instance, might feel like the end, but it's often the beginning of self-discovery and growth. Marcus also taught us about our interconnectedness. He said, "That which is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bees."
A profound metaphor. It's a reminder that we're all part of a larger whole, whether it's our families, communities, or even the environment. Our actions ripple outward.
Right. Think about recycling or reducing waste. It's not just about us, it's about the planet we share. And in relationships, empathy is key. When we see others as fellow travelers rather than obstacles, we create harmony.
Marcus believed that virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance was the highest good. Why do you think that mattered so much to him?
Because external things, wealth, power, even health, are fleeting. Virtue is what remains. For Marcus, being a good person mattered more than being a powerful emperor.
It's a lesson for us all. At work, for instance, integrity should trump ambition. And in relationships, kindness and understanding are far more valuable than superficial charm.
So, How can we bring all this into our daily lives? Let's leave our listeners with something actionable.
Absolutely. Here's a challenge. For the next week, practice reframing one stressful situation using Marcus's wisdom. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, let it go. If it is, act with virtue.
And don't forget to live in the present. When you're with loved ones, put your phone down. Be fully there. And when change comes, embrace it as an opportunity to grow.
Perfect. Remember, listeners, Stoicism isn't just ancient philosophy. It's a toolkit for modern life.
Thanks for joining us on this journey with Marcus Aurelius. Keep striving for wisdom, and until next time, remember, you have power over your mind, not outside events.
Take care and live virtuously. See you next time.